Hey guys, my name is Hollow and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the new release, Teppen. Teppen is a card battle game for iOS and Android created by Gunho Online with Capcom. Absolutely bursting with a variety of Capcom characters I'd never thought I'd see on the same screen. It's polished, fully realized, and I'm happy to say this video is also sponsored. But we've been given free reign to make whatever kind of video we'd like and share that with you, and I think that speaks volumes for how confident they are about Teppen, and I think they have a right to be. Let's start by checking out the characters in Teppen so far, which are already being added on to with a recent update introducing Jill from Resident Evil. Here's our current roster, where we could totally play as Dante or hilariously Nergigante if we'd like. Maybe we'll face off against Ryu from Street Fighter or X from Mega Man, but I think they've done really well with the art style with Teppen, making them somehow fit together visually like they really could be from the same universe. How this all happened is explained as shown via the story missions, each character getting their own set of battles and background lore to explain how they came to be in this game and why they're interacting with one another, specifically pointing each character to the Land of Illusion, each character with their own motivation to go there, setting the stage for these battles and tournaments that we end up playing in the game. Each story mission has 3 total encounters from the perspective of the character you're playing as, showing their plans and goals, with this mysterious cloaked lady manipulating events to draw them to the Land of Illusion. Apparently she must be very powerful because for some of these motivations, she revives long dead monsters and great evils from each respective franchise to draw the heroes in. Or in Ryu's case, being taken over by his own corruption. Clearly, morally, this mysterious lady doesn't really care for the well-being at all, or even the worlds they come from. I really want to know why, and to be honest, how is she doing it? I love Rathalos' story. The poor guy is just getting beaten up by Nergigante, which makes sense, right? But then is given an insane firepower via a fire dagger stabbed into his back. I mean, it's total sense, right? We all know that. We all get buffed up when we get stabbed. So the stories and characters are obviously very interesting and cool, but how does the gameplay actually work? We jump in game, starting with 5 random cards from our deck, and at the bottom of the screen you'll see the MP bar, which functions like a mana bar. Each card that you play has a set cost of MP, but instead of increasing the bar slowly each round turn by turn, the game continuously plays, allowing you to just keep playing cards over and over infinitely as long as you've got the energy. This is a really fun change of pace. There's very little downtime. You play what you can as soon as you have it or are able or ready to. Naturally, during gameplay, you're going to see all the crazy Capcom characters from all the different universes, and I really like having themed decks myself where each card makes sense for that character from their universe, but you can totally have a bunch of characters from Dante's world in a Ryu deck, for example. You have 3 spaces to place cards, top, middle, and bottom. So you'll notice my damage values and defense values on each card, right? In this case, my first card has this amount of attack, this amount of defense, and that's basically how much health it has and how much damage it's going to do. Each card will attack one another based on the arrow that slowly fills up with different speeds, so the arrow fills up slower or faster, and they will take damage respective of their attack, and defense will lower based on that. Or you could instantly start attacking the enemy life points instead of their minions, and you don't have to match cards for cards either. Both players start with 30 HP each, so obviously to win, you just have to reduce the enemy's HP to 0. Though naturally, just going for the face every round isn't always going to win. Control of the board will snowball into massive damage to the enemy later, so I like to go for that. Each time I play a card of any kind, minion or spell, I fill my AP too, which you can see at the bottom left. That fills up to a max depending on who you're playing as, what AP ability you've chosen, for insane abilities known as hero arts. And when I use the hero art, not only do I get this sick, flashy animation playing out when I use it, we also have different effects. Tons of damage abilities, buff my minions on the board, or even give them a massive shield. Some effects can slow down time, and that means how fast enemy minions get to attack, which is really useful for control of the board, or maybe even just focusing on killing the enemy player instead. Then we have action cards, which are basically spells in the game. You'll throw them out for usually lower amounts of MP per action card, right? And they have different effects, shields, buffs, direct damage, just like the hero arts, but how the spells play out is quite interesting. It's not just cast spell, effect instantly takes place. When someone plays an action card, you go into the active response mode, kind of pausing the battle for a sec while you match each other's actions for actions with your action cards. Each cast of each spell works as a count. So I cast my first spell, that's the first action count, and then they cast a spell in response, that's count 2. We go into count 3 from my reply, and so on. This will just keep going until both players are out of cards, MP, or they've just decided to resolve the active response mode by hitting resolve and letting whatever has been played out and set in motion to occur. And that's mostly how the rules of each run go. Obviously, the cards you play have a huge impact on what's going to happen, and you're able to build your own decks with your own plans in mind as you go as well. The match time is set at a cap of 5 minutes, which you can see at the top of the board. We can win faster than that, but games can't go longer than 5 minutes, which is nice for really quick-paced matches. For someone playing this game on the go, which obviously makes sense since it's a mobile game, so you're not going to have to commit chunks of time in case the match ends up going on for upwards of 30 minutes. It's 5 minutes at max. So the way the game works, you have different timing windows where you could wait for an attack from an enemy to go through to then drop yours, or sneak in your drop just before their attack goes through as well. Or you could save up your MP and then drop a bunch of cards in one go all of a sudden. The fact that the game is continually playing out and there's no turns per se, it makes for a really fast pace. Here's the deck building and massive roster of cards in the game so far. It's pretty crazy. We already have quite a lot going on, and there's a lot of effects on each card and passive effects as well. It's a little overwhelming when you first see it, since there is tons of different types of cards and how those units will interact with each other, whether it's a standard or flying unit, you know, what speed each unit has, how much damage they take or deal. Maybe they have a battle cry effect. It's definitely a game with a lovely amount of depth just from a quick look at it. But as you can also see, we are able to craft cards that we specifically want using Soul, which is a resource you get from a bunch of places, such as just completing the hero storyline missions. I think the visuals speak for themselves. It's pretty crisp, and I love the way they've stylized it. The animations are solid, weighty behind each action. Every character is fully voice acted by their official voice actors. This is not just like an unfinished project, that's very clear. For things outside of the main battles, you've got daily challenges and rewards based on that. Zenny, of course, being the gold currency in the game, and as I mentioned, Soul for card crafting as well. We have the Colosseum window for tournaments. I'd assume that's going to be much harder marathons of battles, but I've not experienced that one yet personally. If I check the shop, we're able to buy cards with a couple different currencies. Obviously, we can use that Zenny we collect, the gold, or the crystals, which is the in-game currency you buy with real money, or slowly collect through in-game rewards as well. And then finally, we have the core pack tickets, which I seem to collect with the daily login rewards and different daily challenges. Given that I've not spent a single penny playing the game so far, and I've got 38 of these core tickets already, comes across as pretty fair with the card packs. One thing I'd be amiss to not bring up is the Season Pass, which costs 980 of the in-game currency, the crystals, and with this pass, each season you'll unlock special secret cards from the 25 pass missions you unlock with the pass. A 50% boost to hero XP, which you gather as you play and win more games as specific characters, and a one-time 50% discount to craft a legendary card of your choice too. It seems pretty reasonable. If we do convert the 980 crystals to actual money, that would be about $8.20 in pounds, though I did notice a special offer for the £11 pack, discounted to £5. Perhaps these offers will pop up now and then for consideration. But in conclusion, Teppen is ultimately a battle card game with a system that's pretty simple and easy to understand at a first look, but with a lot of depth right behind that. It works great, it looks great, and with the constant battle rather than a turn-based game, for me it was quite refreshing as a take on the card game genre as well. Obviously, I've really liked my time with this game, so we're very lucky to also be sponsored to talk about it, but I get the feeling we would have checked it out anyway. What do you think about Teppen? It's free to download, so make sure you use our links in the description when you check it out so they know we sent you. Thank you for watching, and for now, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I will see you next time.